We are ready. All right, we're going to continue into our post-race media availability here for the Auto Club 400, and we've now been joined by our race-winning team. We'll start with driver Brad Keselowski, driver of the number 9 Worth Ford. We've also been joined by our race-winning crew chief Paul Wolfe and team owner Roger Penske. And Brad, we'll start with you. You only led one lap today, but it's safe to say you led the most important lap. So you tweeted this morning that you felt like this could be the day that you ended the curse that you've previously had here at Auto Club Speedway. So just talk a little bit about your run and being able to take home the victory.
Yeah, it was really an up and down day for sure. But we as a team, and Paul and the guys on pit road just kept fighting, and at the end we caught some breaks and made the most of the breaks we caught, and that was kind of the story of our race. It looked like we were probably going to finish 6th or 7th there, and then that yellow came out. We came in and pitted and drove up a little bit, then caught another yellow and thought, wow, now what do we do? And so Paul made the call to come down pit road and put 4 tires on, and when he said that, I said, well, this can either go really good or really bad. I didn't know which one it was going to be. And, some guys stayed out. Some guys took 2 tires and all kinds of different strategies. And on the restart, we were just able to find our way through the lanes and get to the front there and somehow end up in victory lane leading the last lap. That's kind of a race car driver's dream. And this is one we're going to sit back and go wow for a while on.
And, Paul, with this win, you've officially, essentially punched your ticket into the chase. Talk a little bit about what that means for the team and really what that means to be locked in at this point in the season.
Sure. Obviously, it was a big win for us today, and I think, as you look at the new format and how you win and you're into the chase, that was partly on my mind when I made the call today. And to Brad's point, we were a 6th, 7th place car, it seemed like there. We had runs where we were maybe a little better, runs where we weren't. But, when I heard guys were going for 2 tires, I told Brad over the radio, I said, well, if we're going to win this thing, I think we're going to need to do 4. I didn't feel like we were going to be able to pass those guys on equal tires. So at that point, it's like, let's go for the win. And we did 4 tires. And, it's one thing to have the 4 tires and have the grip, but Brad did an excellent job executing the passes and making the holes and taking the opportunities to make use of the tires. So it was a great day. It means a lot to us. We've been off a little bit on speed this year. We know we need to be better. So to get this win this early is huge for us, and now gives us a little opportunity to maybe do some things out of our comfort zone and see if we can find a little more speed and be able to lead more laps and run up front like we want to do.
And Roger, we'll continue that question with you. 5 races into the season, you now have both Brad and Joey locked into the chase. So just talk a little bit about the momentum that Team Penske has right now.
Well, to have both cars in the chase is exceptional. I think last year we had that opportunity to get in early, and it certainly paid off as we got through the season, as we can do other things, as we try to explore some of the outer boundaries. But, today was also special for me. This is a track that, we built, I think, back in '97 was the first time we had a race here. And we haven't won a race here with a NASCAR car since, I think, 2002 with Rusty, so it was in the 2 car. So 2 is special here, and the drive that Brad did was amazing. And to see him, he was cool all day. We made some changes on the car. We were up, we were down, as Paul said. But at the end of the day, at one point, I thought he was going to take the lead a little earlier. But knowing at the end he had a short-run speed car there that he could get around the 27, it was all over then. So to me, Paul, was a great call. Great run in the pits today. It kept us up front, which you need to be today because of the competition. But still, we're chasing that 4 car, as you know. He's been awful hot. And to me, 2 cars in the chase at this time, I think we're on the right direction.
All right, we'll go ahead and take questions for Roger, Brad, or Paul. Please raise your hand and state your name and affiliation. We'll start with Tom and then go to Jeff.
Hey, guys, congratulations. Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. Brad, I got to ask you, did you see the piece of debris on the lap 200 caution when it looked like Busch was a quarter of a lap from victory?
I don't remember how the race finished, let alone debris. I mean, there's a lot of things being thrown at me here. I'm sorry. My short-term memory is not that strong. Which yellow lap 200? Was that the rear bumper?
No, it was before that when we came down and took forward that.
I can't remember those things. I'm sorry. I was focused on do we pit, do we not pit, and Paul was saying this, and engine temperatures, and how to make the car turn. So when the yellow comes out in these races, as a driver, you can't sit and fret about what the yellow's for. You got to make a real-time decision that's going to really dictate your fate to win or lose a race. So I'm sorry. I don't waste brain space on trying to figure that out because it kind of is what it is. But I honestly don't remember.
Fine, I'll ask Paul. Did you hear anything about it?
Well, we hear him talking about it on the radio, but I personally didn't see it. Don't know, but they call it over the when we're listening on the scanners, we can hear you guys looking for debris, but I didn't see it.
All right, Jeff, go ahead.
Jeff Clark from USA Today for Brad. You've been doing this long enough to see how races can quickly change, and here you were with probably not a winning car late in the race, just laps from the finish. One debris caution comes out, then this series of events happens, and next thing you know, you're right here. You ever shake your head, even as doing this as long as you have, and be like, man, I can't believe some of the twists and turns in the sport sometimes?
I kind of am right now. That's what I was trying to say to Tom. No offense, Tom. There's a lot going on, and try to put it all in perspective. And when you win today, you temper that with the knowledge that you're going to lose one like this, and you're going to have a dominant car one day, and there's going to come a sequence of fluke events that's going to cost you a win, and you're going to look around and go, how did I lose? And you're going to be really angry. So the only thing you can do is just be really happy when you win like today to kind of offset that, and that's how racing goes.
All right, we'll take a question from Bob, and then we'll go to the left side of the room with Rich. Bob, right there. Thank you, Bob.
Bob Hockers, ESPN. Brad, I think you were 17th on that restart on lap 200. Are you thinking are you going to look back and wonder, how did I win this?
Absolutely. We went from 17th to 6th in one turn. And when the yellow came out, was that the bumper? I don't remember.
That was the bumper.
I was kind of mad because I felt like I had a big run, and I felt like I could get up to maybe second or third. And I really hadn't kind of reset, and Paul said it to me, probably a lap later. He said, no, this is actually really good, to group you back up and maybe win the race. And I was like, oh, yeah. But he kept me calm on that one. But, I knew we had a shot of a better day than what we were going to have when we cleared all those cars in 1 and 2 on the first restart. You don't know how these things are going to work out. Sometimes you can restart 5th or 6th with 4 tires and get caught up behind someone who doesn't have tires and end up 10th. You just don't know. It's picking the right lane and hoping that it comes together, and for us it did at the end.
Great. We can get a microphone over here to Rich, please.
Hi, Rick Nell, Charlotte Observer. Paul, when Roger talked a minute ago about how the way the system works, how you can do some things maybe out of the box now that you know that you're in the chase, I just wondered if you could you elaborate a little bit on how the way that you guys sort of strategize the rest of the season can change a little bit by the flexibility that comes with winning a race under the system?
Sure. We, as you look at history, we always keep a good log of different setups or things we've done in the past at different tracks. And, that's kind of how we base, how we unload each weekend and work from there from a setup standpoint. And there's times when you feel like you may have tried something in practice that may be faster, but you need to have just a good solid day. So you're afraid sometimes to maybe veer off from your comfort zone to try a setup or something like that may be different for you. So with that being said, there's less risk, I guess, with trying something like that from a setup standpoint, and then even from the engine side, I know Roush Yates is working very hard to continue to push to find us more power and things like that, and obviously, we don't want to have engine troubles or drop out of a race because of it, but if that happens because we're trying to be better and make our stuff better, so when it gets down to the chase where it really counts, we're willing to take that risk. So we'll continue to push, and this, like I said, getting this win early will allow us to do some of those things that maybe we wouldn't have done if we didn't get that today.
Just to follow up on that, Brad, does it change anything about the way you approach your job knowing that you're in?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to answer the questions from everybody about being nervous about making the chase for the next few months, and I think that puts you in a really great spot mentally to focus on the task at hand, which is, still going out there and trying to win each and every week, even though you are locked in the chase. But I think it eliminates a lot of outside distractions and allows you to put your most aggressive foot forward.
All right, we'll go upstairs for a question.
I think she has one.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Oh, okay.
Upstairs? Does anyone have a question upstairs?
Two questions for Paul Wolfe, Wolfgang Monse, Rennsport Press Agency from Germany. Paul, first of all, congratulations, big success. Also, from my point of view, good to see that this is a good success for the German sponsor. Question number one, I think it's fair to say that maybe the key for Brad's win was the change of all 4 tires. How was the tire wear before you changed the tires with the tires he had used so far in the race? And question number 2, can you maybe give some explanation, especially at Auto Club Speedway, how long does a NASCAR Goodyear tire need to build up the perfect grip and temperature?
Well, I think to answer your question there, this surface here I think was repaved in '97 or something is what I saw. So it's one of the oldest surfaces on the circuit right now. And, once you get one heat cycle on the tires in one lap, new tires are worth quite a bit. And, I knew at that point it had like 10 laps, I think, on the tires, which, is quite a ways. It's a quarter of a way through a run here at this track. And the other part that goes into the decision to take 4 is just knowing how many lanes and how much of the racetrack you can use. It's one thing if it's a narrow track and there's not multiple lanes to move from 18th or wherever we were to 6th in one lap shows that. So, all those things went into, the decision that was made to do 4, as well as not being afraid to do something different than what the rest of the field is. So. Tires are worth a lot here, and once you put one lap or one heat cycle on them, you're pretty much looking to put new tires on and pick up quite a bit of grip.
All right, we'll come back downstairs for a couple questions. Go ahead, Kay.
Kay Presto, Cars and Competition. There was so much happening in those last few laps, Brad. Please put us in the car and tell us exactly what you saw and did, how you got past Kurt.
What was your name, ma'am? I'm sorry.
Kay Presto, Cars and Competition.
Well, Kay, that's my mom's name too. But Kay, it's hard for me to really run you all through it. I almost need to see the replay because I feel like when you are in moments like the end of a race as a race car driver and you have the goal so clearly in front of you that you become so focused that and I've said this before, and I was saying it to Tom, that you turn kind of the memory function of your brain off, and you use every bit of brain power you have to focus on the task ahead. And for me, that was knowing I had a car with newer tires that was stronger and faster, and that if I picked the right lanes, and that if I read the cars in front of me just right, that I would pass them and win the race for our team. And so I think when you hit that spot mentally, that you can't remember those things. I also don't remember the end of the race, and I won't really jog my mind until I watch it on replay because I was so focused on the task at hand and trying to win the race and knowing the car and the opportunity that I had in front of me and wanting to make the most of it.
All right, go ahead.
Brian Golden, Antelope Valley Press. Congratulations to all you guys. Roger, I wonder, after Will winning the IndyCar Championship last year, you're in victory lane at Daytona, and you've already got your 2 drivers in the chase before the end of March. I know this sounds like a mouthful, but might we be seeing the greatest start to a Roger Penske racing season ever?
Well, I think we have to look at what's ahead of us, certainly, the goals are to win races. I think we have a team and sponsors, and the question was asked how important it is to win early. I think for our sponsors, it's dynamic, really, when you think about the support that they get when we have success, and it also what it does for the team. But to me, the winning Daytona was a great kickoff for overall Penske, our team Penske, and certainly this race here before we start at St. Pete next week is going to be critical. And when I looked at the race here today, the fastest lap of the race was run by Brad on the last lap. So we had speed in the car, and I saw how good he was on one of the restarts, and I think that at the end of the day, this is a game of knowing how to use your clubs. And there's no question that, Brad knows how to do that. He's delivered for us before, and we know the competition is tough. And to think that we have this kind of a kickoff for the team, is a tremendous opportunity. But I don't know how many more races I got to go to, probably about 40, and then we'll find out what the answer is.
All right, we'll go back upstairs for an additional question.
Brian Belansky from the RPM Motorsports Radio Network. You've talked a lot about mentally, Brad, at the end of the race. Let's go back to like the middle of the race, lap 80 to go, 90 to go. You were in 10th or 11th. When you think you've got maybe a 10th place car, how do you keep yourself just grinding along, knowing that this could happen at the end and not get down on yourself? And Paul, do you have a role in keeping him in that mode?
Well, I think, first of all, to answer your question, this is a team that's done this before, won races, and we've won a championship together. And with that comes a lot of confidence and a lot of trust that these races are 400 miles, not 200 miles, and you want to make the most of that. So that means you can't give up, and you got to keep working on your car, and you got to keep working on your day to make the most of it. And so, with that knowledge in mind, I think you can find a spot mentally to keep going and to keep working, and you just hope for a little bit of a break along with that, and we did both today. That's what got us to victory lane.
All right, additional questions downstairs? All right, we'll come up front.
Brad, you've had Keith Flair from the St. Road Tribune. You've had miserable luck here in the past. But what was it, and did you ever wonder if you'd at least get a podium?
Well, didn't I tell you, Paul, we were due for some good luck here?
You did.
We've had some really bad luck here, and today we had some pretty good luck. So it all equals out over time, I guess. The last, I think, 2 years here, we've had great race cars, and just everything kind of fell apart on us at the end, and you're left around looking and saying, well, how did that happen? And today we're kind of looking and saying, how did that happen, but in a good way. So, that's just, that's how it works sometimes. I'm not really sure I know why, and there's maybe a life lesson in there, and why you stick to something, and you have to believe in everybody around.
All right, any additional questions upstairs?
No further questions.
All right, any final questions downstairs? All
There's
right, we'll
one
take our
back
final
there.
question in the very back.
Congratulations, Mr. Penske, the whole group. You are the captain. Now, coming up next week, we got short track racing. How do you feel about going from a super speedway down to a half-mile track where it's slam banging?
Is that for me or Roger?
No, that's for you,
Oh, okay.
Mr. Keselowski.
Well, I know how Roger feels. He's wondering how much cars he's going to tear up. How do I feel about it? I think the Sprint Cup Series, and specifically NASCAR in general, competes on 4 different genres of tracks. You have your super speedways, your short tracks, your mile and a halves, and your road courses. And each one of them is a different challenge. And as I explained sometimes to our fans, it'd be like if you were an NFL player and you said, Peyton Manning, you're a good quarterback. Why don't you line up as tight end this play? And then the next one, why don't you line up as halfback? Because the skill set for each one of those different types of tracks is so much different. And I think that's what makes our sport very unique from others, is that kind of universal skill set that it requires to be an elite driver. If you're a great restrictor plate track driver, that's good, but that's not going to win you a championship. You've got to be good on all different types of tracks. So for me, personally, I embrace the challenge. I embrace knowing that, next week we're going to have to go to a track that's almost as completely opposite as you can be from this race. And in a few more weeks, we're going to go to another road course here in Sonoma in California. That's going to be even different again, as far away as you can be different. So I embrace that challenge. I think it's good for the sport. It shows why these are some of the best teams and drivers in any sport, really in the world. So I think it's a good thing.
All right. For Roger, Brad, and Paul, congratulations on your victory this afternoon, and best of luck next week in Martinsville.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. How'd you know that? Okay, that is my